Hey there crew, it's Mark, and in today's video I will be introducing you to my workout journal. This is something brand new that I just set up for myself as I'm getting myself in gear, just getting healthier overall and trying to be better at being active while working at home. We'll be talking about how to take a blank journal and turn it into a perfect workout journal for you regardless of the notebooks that you're going to be using. We'll talk about my method for how I decided to set this up, aligning with my workout schedule, and also adding some of those little extra bits of flair in there. Like I had to get some of my cool stamps. And then at the end of this video, I'll go ahead and show you how I've been using this over the past 2 weeks as I've kicked up my workout schedule and getting myself in order. With so many notebooks and planners and binders, I already had enough of the materials to create this, but I wanted to find something that I thought would best fit my needs and for this specific purpose. So I went ahead and grabbed my Lochby filled journal. This is a journal that I've had for a little bit of time, but haven't quite used yet, and this just felt like the right moment. The Lochby journals are versatile travel journals. They're perfect for journaling, sketching, planning, kind of whatever you need. I've been using the Venture pouch a lot for when I'm going into the office because it can hold so many things plus extra room for fountain pens. And what's great about the Field Journal is it has a ton of room inside, both for different types of notebooks and storage too. I really love the outdoorsy look of this. It very much fits my aesthetic, and I love that it has this cool clasp over the top here too. It's actually adjustable. You'll see in a moment that you can fit multiple types of notebooks inside of here. You've got handles on the side. You've actually got a pouch in the back that you can use as well. So really anything you want to use this notebook cover for, you absolutely can. It's great that it has a pen holder over on the side. That way I can just keep my pen with me as I'm working inside of this journal. And then when we open it up, you'll see all of the versatility that happens inside of here. So it comes with one of the Lochby Doc Grid journals already for you. This is a stitch binding notebook that you can actually fit multiple inside of this if you wanted to. You have multiple elastic bands, and that's actually how it holds on to these notebooks. So if you are familiar with traveler's notebooks at all, or multi-section notebooks like this, it makes perfect sense. On the left-hand side, you have so much space. You have plenty of pockets for everything if you need to. Long ones, short ones, whatever you're looking for. Like I mentioned, you do get one notebook that comes along with this journal cover here, but you can also buy extra. They have plain, ruled, wide, as well as the Doc Grid, all with Tomo River paper, 68 GSM, no bleed through, no feathering. So whether you're writing with a regular gel pen or a fountain pen, this paper really can do it all. So let me go through my process on how I set this up to be my workout journal. The first thing I had to figure out was the layout of my pages. My workouts are going to be anywhere between 4 to 5 days a week, but I'm also tracking my steps and my calorie intake as well. So I was gonna need 7 days a week no matter what. I wanted to leave room at the top, and that way I could put the months up there as well as one of my tracker stamps that I have that's gonna pay attention and split my page into my steps as well as my exercise time. Once I figured out how much space I needed for that, we had about 36 squares going down. I was gonna break each of those down into 2 for each day of the week. I have a split so I can actually fit 2 weeks on one page with room at the bottom. Creating your own journal no matter what can be a lot of work, but stamps always make it a little bit easier, and I have such a collection, and I had a perfect one for this. Inside of one of Archer and Olive's most recent wellness journal packs, they had a fantastic stamp set that actually had exactly what I was looking for. This physical activity stamp tracks your total minutes of your activity as well as the total steps that you're capturing each day. I also have these great month stamps from Little Black Rabbit Papery, and I of course had to use them. So the full materials that I used to create this journal were 2 different size Faber-Castell markers. We have 2 different size markers because I am creating a hard line between each of the weeks inside of my journal, which we'll see in just a moment. I'm also using my favorite stamp ink, which is VersaFine ink, and I also have this stamp chamois. If you've never used this before, it's fantastic. You wet it, you reuse it, and it gets the ink off of your stamps. So the first step is marking out my pages with my thicker line. Like I mentioned, I'm splitting out every week, so I'll be able to fit 4 weeks on this full page spread here. I already marked my pages out in pencil to make this even easier for myself so I can see it. So if you're gonna set up your own, I recommend that as well. Then starting at the top, I went ahead and marked every 2 squares going down my page. This will set up my space for the days of the week and the dates as well as the workout, plus capturing the data that I'm using with this stamp here, the physical activity stamp for minutes and total steps. What I also really liked about this stamp, and there was already a line to split out the 2 different data points that I was collecting, so I went ahead and just ran that line all the way down my pages as well. The thing about Tomo River paper is that it's great, it holds on to ink really well, but because it's so thin, you do get ghosting on the pages. I knew about this going in, so what I decided to do was go ahead and skip a spread and start fresh every other page. The other thing that I'm going to be tracking inside of this journal are my weekly weight check-ins. This is an important part of my process. It's something that I really like to be able to see each week as I'm going on and just get that visual progression as things are happening. And hopefully every few weeks I'm dropping some LBs. So across the entire spread, we'll have 4 check-ins, which makes sense because I'm capturing 4 weeks on these pages. Now, one thing that I didn't have in my stamp collection was any type of label for weight. But lucky for me, I have these Samby Endless stamps, which are a bunch of letters that clip together. These work really well and keep everything in line as long as you don't have more than one of the letter inside of your word. So weight worked out perfectly for me, and I can go ahead and title each of these as I'm going through. In my spacing, I left room for the day and the date, as well as some more information about the workout. So on this left-hand page, I'll actually set this up for the rest of August. And then over on the right-hand side, I'll go ahead and set this up for the next 2 weeks in September. So now it was time to actually start using this journal, and my very first order was to weigh in for the first time. Much like you, I'm sure nobody wants to put their information out, but hey, I'm working on it, I'm losing it, so I'm starting this journal at 250 pounds. And like I mentioned before, at the beginning of each week, I'll go ahead and track my weight before I go into the workout for the week. So that was the whole setup of the journal, so let me show you how I've been using this workout journal in practice. So the things that I wanted to track inside of this journal were going to be the workouts that I had for each of the days of the week that I'm doing them, as well as the amount of time I'm spending on physical activity, my total amount of steps, and I also decided to add in my calorie counting as well. What I found most useful with filling this out was doing it every few days. Now, I personally am using an app along with this workout plan that captures a lot of this for me, but I'm the type of person that writes this stuff down because it just triggers a lot more for me. One of my goals as a part of this workout plan is to get anywhere between 7,500 and 8,000 steps a day. And I didn't hit my goal most of my days. And the thing that really cemented this in for me was actually going back and writing it down. And the one day that I had less than 3,500 steps, I was just like, Mark, you can do better than this. To fully utilize this notebook, I've been using the inside pages also for notes during my workout. So on my first day, those push-ups are real hard to do. I had to do them modified, no shame whatsoever. I haven't worked out in years. I also wrote some notes in here because while I was working out, I was feeling kind of some lower back, not pain, but like maybe it's just muscles that I don't use in my lower back. I just wanted to note that in here is something to pay attention to so that I know what I'm doing those leg days, that I need to make sure that I'm stretching more as I'm doing that. And it's not all bad stuff in here too. It's also celebration. And one of the days I was doing so well and feeling so good that I upped the reps as well as the weight on some of my workouts. I'm not pushing myself too hard, but whenever I can find those opportunities to celebrate good things, I'm gonna write it down. So as of right now, I've gone ahead and I've set this notebook up for the next 6 weeks. It will take me through, and then I can start to fill out the rest of it when we get closer to October. It's been really fun so far using this notebook, and again, holding myself accountable for keeping up with the workouts as well as my steps and my calories as well. It's kind of all encompassing inside of there. And so far, I am really enjoying myself. If you want to check out more stuff from Lochby, whether it be the Field Journal or the Venture Pouch or anything else they have on their website, you can check them out at lochby.com, and you can actually use a special discount code. I am an affiliate with them. Mark your pages. We'll save you 10% off your order when you check out. I'd love to hear from you in the comment section below if you've ever set up something like this for yourself, or if you think this might be helpful for your individual goals as well. As always, friends, I'll talk to you next time. See ya.